Peter had already self-published his book on Ingram Spark, and he could even see that his book was distributing through Amazon as a result of this decision. So there was no point of actually publishing it on Amazon as well. Is that right? Well, the answer is no, and that's one of the reasons why in today's video we are going to discuss Amazon versus Ingram Spark epic book distribution battle. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. So the thing is, Peter, he's an author who lives in Seattle, Washington. And the thing is, his books are within the religion and spirituality niche. And I run across a lot of people who publish a decent number of books within a number of these areas. And so Peter himself was he was trying to see if he could update different aspects of his sales page on Amazon after having seen some of my videos where I talk about the importance of making sure that your sales page and author's bio are completely optimized to ensure you're going to get as many sales as possible when your books come out onto Amazon. Well, the problem, though, was that he found that since he had put his books through Ingram Spark, he lost the ability to control the book descriptions. He lost the ability to control his author's bio. He couldn't even change the pricing on Amazon since these books were not registered through Amazon. But at the same time, they were visible on Amazon. Just low quality in the sense that the sales pages were not coming through correctly. And he wasn't also even having like the look inside feature was not available. And then he had an additional question, which was, what about running ads? And they wouldn't show him his sales dashboard through just Amazon. And so this created a whole series of problems for him, because how exactly was he going to be able to optimize and ensure he was getting the maximum number of sales on Amazon if he had no control? And this is a big one that a lot of my students have. It's that if you give away your control, that is when we start making decisions, or we lose the ability to make the decisions that we need this flexibility for to maximize sales when we're publishing our books on these different platforms. So the first thing was, he had heard about the importance of controlling your sales page, but he couldn't make the changes. So he realized he was going to be losing all of these sales, and he began to wonder if maybe he made the wrong choice in going with Ingram Spark, and that instead he should have gone with KDP and Amazon Publishing. So the first thing he did was he contacted Ingram Spark and asked them about the distribution on Amazon to see if there was a way that he could change the prices, or he could have some impact on what was showing up on the Amazon page, even though he had registered this stuff through Ingram Spark, or other people actually who had helped him put the book out there had done this registration. And they told him, no, we can't really help you. You're going to need to contact Amazon directly. So then the second thing he did was he went to Amazon and he asked them and said, hey, can you help me? I want to make these changes. And they informed him that since his book had been published through Ingram Spark, they were not going to be able to let him do that. He could set up an author central bio, and he could do these things, but his books would not be linked together because they were not published through Amazon itself natively. And this was a huge problem for him. So he was leaving him very frustrated. So what happened was he was reading some of the answers that I had done on Quora, which is a place where I answer questions on a regular basis regarding self-publishing. And so he decided to sign up for a free discovery session with me, where we're able to go back and forth and map out his self-publishing journey to figure out what is the most strategic route to maximize sales, and also make sure that he maintains energy and the other things necessary to keep on keeping on when it comes to your self-publishing journey. So the first thing we did was I commented to him, because from personal experience, after 200 books on Amazon and a huge percentage of that also on Ingram Spark and running ads against it, there were a number of things that I've learned over the years. And these were the things we were going to look at with regards to his books. So the first thing was we want his books on both platforms. And when we say on both platforms, we don't mean we put it on Ingram Spark and let them pull it through to his Amazon profile. We mean we want it published natively on both platforms. It seems a little redundant, but they go through different distribution channels, and we have the ability to control what those sales pages and pricing structures look like in both locations. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that on Ingram Spark, they require you to have an ISBN code. You have to supply them, for one for your paperback and one for your ebook that you will be putting onto that particular area. Whereas Amazon, they give you both of them for free. If you use the Amazon first and then are going to move it over to Ingram Spark, you need new ones since those are owned by Amazon. You cannot use your Kindle Direct Publishing or KDP ISBN codes that you got for free on any other site. In fact, they automatically assign it, and that will be the only place you are allowed to use it. So, but if you have started and you have them over on Ingram Spark, they can be used on Amazon. So you can use them on both. So that is to say, if you have an ebook on this site or on 50 different distribution channel platforms, you can have the same one for all your ebooks, and you can have the same one for your paperback. But you can't change format and sizing and titles and things like that, and then have different ISBNs. It has to be the same one. Okay. Number 3. You can maximize your sales by maximizing your distribution, and this is the important one. And that's one of the reasons why even with the ebook, I also would recommend using Draft Digital to even increase even further your distribution. I used to say Smashwords, but they've been bought up by Draft Digital, so I would go with Draft Digital or Publish Drive or one of the other ones to make sure that we're really pushing it out. We want as many people in the world to find our books. Bookstores and libraries, we want our books available everywhere, and that is the number one way to do it. As many formats as possible and as many distribution channels as possible, but we are not going to natively publish it on Apple and natively publish it on iBooks and Kobo and all of these others. We do not want to have to do that. So that's another one. Then the next thing is that I personally make more money off of my paperback books on Ingram Spark than I do on any other platform. So I would of course recommend going to Ingram Spark. Now there are a few barriers on Ingram Spark compared to going with Amazon, and one of them is that you are required to pay a review fee, which is about $50. Fortunately, you can Google it, and they usually have free promo codes to skip the review fee. Now, it costs $50 if you do your paperback version and your ebook version, or you can pay, or if you pay $50, you can do both of them together. And so this is the reason I always recommend for the review side of things, just find the free one and make sure you publish both versions of your ebook. And they use the EPUB format, which is fantastic since Amazon also uses EPUB now. They used to use a different one called Mobi, but EPUB is the one I definitely use because that's what they're recommending, and I use the amazing software Jutoh to do the formatting, as you can find below my affiliate link in the description, in order to make sure the formatting is flawless. So you can get the free ones that way, free promo codes, or you can get 4 or 5 free promo codes a month if you join the Alliance for Independent Authors. So that's another option that you should consider definitely doing. Not their lowest level, but the next tier in terms of their membership program. So, and the other thing that you need to remember is that you do have to supply the ISBN codes, but you can get them for free if you live in Norway or you live in Canada. So there's just a number of different options, and they've talked in Ingram Spark. You can tell me below in the comments. They've talked about the idea of making it possible to get them to supply the ISBN codes if you live in the United States, but I'm not sure if that is completely in place. Let me know. So after going through all of these steps with Peter, we were really able to start to take a closer look to make sure that he was playing the strategic route when it comes to his personal books, but he still had to think about a lot of this. But he found that the discovery session was incredibly helpful, and I'm sure you also, as a writer or author, or you've already self-published, will also find it helpful. So just go ahead and book a free session below. You'll find my link in the description, and we can sit down and take a look specifically at your book with no commitment to buy anything, absolutely free, and we'll just take a look specifically at what you're doing and how you can optimize it. So back to Peter. So finally, he started moving along the process of setting up his account on KDP, which took only about 3 minutes, and then getting his metadata and all of this stuff that he'd already really had to do for Ingram Spark onto his KDP account. And so, but then he saw that he needed his paperback version a different cover, but he was able to use the same interior that he had used on Ingram Spark on his KDP print version. Okay, so he went to he realized this was a bit frustrating, but he went back to his cover designer and told him what he needed. He paid them the money, and they were able to get it in the right format, and so he was able to then put it onto Amazon. And then at this point, once it went live along with his ebook, which he didn't have to change anything, just his cover and the EPUB file, putting it right onto Amazon, He was then able to get these to link up correctly, and now he controlled the prices on everything. He controlled the descriptions. He controlled his author's bio. So if he had multiple books, they would all show up underneath the same author's bio. He was able to do that, whereas he was not able to do that previously. And he started to see what? Well, the first thing, he started to see an increase of sales on Ingram Spark, which was unbelievable. But then again, those books are also for sale on Amazon. And when we're optimizing our pages and our author's bio and our pricing and all of these things, it has an impact on our entire distribution channel, not just one of our areas that we're distributing the books. In addition, he started seeing sales coming in through Amazon. It wasn't as high as Ingram Spark, and in reality, I've never had a student who made more money off Amazon than Ingram Spark. But I would say that you want to be in both locations because there are exceptions to the rule. And people really love to buy the books in different locations. And we want to be where people are. And we want our books in the formats where it makes them very easy to get them. Now, some people, they just don't like to go on Amazon because they view it as, oh, it's monopolistic and these sorts of things. And so maybe they choose to do Ingram Spark instead. And that's one of the reasons why you're going to want to check out my video on confronting Jeff Bezos, exposing Amazon KDP monopoly right over here. And I will see you over there. Thanks.